This is ABC 7 News, Chicago's #1 news.
And attorney Thomas Glasgow joins us now with more on what to expect as that Drew Peterson trial begins.
Yeah, we're all waiting to hear what opening statements are going to involve. You think there's going to be any surprises? What can we expect?
You know what? This is going to be a difficult case for the prosecution and for the defense because of the rulings that the judge made. Remember, there's not a whole lot of physical evidence here, if at all. The case is going to be based solely on circumstantial evidence and largely in part of out-of-court statements by people that approached the prosecutor after the fact. I think one of the most strongest positions for the defense in this is that the state police ruled this an accidental death years ago, and because of that, you now have built-in reasonable doubt for someone who is accused of a crime. If this were not, Drew Peterson with all the media that he has had, I think you would have a very, very difficult time proving this case as a prosecutor.
Now, you pointed out this Washington Post article that said this is as unusual a case as can be prosecuted. Why do you think so?
Because of the fact that you have not only the hearsay statements, but you don't know which hearsay statements are going to come in. The judge's ruling specifically said, hey, I'm going to rule on them as they come along, which makes it difficult for both the prosecution and the defense, A, to tailor your case as a prosecutor, and B, to respond as a defense attorney. You really don't know what evidence is going to come in, so you don't know how to present the case.
Which brings me to what evidence will come in, because Stacey Peterson is not going to be a part of this case, correct? And also, how many of the jurors... this has become a nationwide case. A movie has been made from it, a lot has been made out of it, and a lot of people have heard about the different things that lead up to what appears that this man could possibly be guilty of at least maybe one. So what role will Stacey Peterson and what role does the jury's information about the other background play on this?
You know, we've talked about this before, that juries just don't operate in a vacuum. In today's society of 24-hour media and internet, it is difficult. And a lot of the jurors during jury selection did talk about the fact they had heard, and some of them had actually seen the movie, despite the warnings from the judge not to have anything to do with this. But they waited so long, they were inundated with this. It's kind of hard not to turn on the television and not see this. That being said, you've got a jury that's going to take their job very seriously. However, where can this man get a fair trial on the planet based on what he has done? Because most people have already formulated an opinion of who this man is in their own mind. Whether he committed the crime or not is a completely different issue that the jury is going to have to separate, and the defense team now has the monumental task of performing during the presentation of their case.
Wow. Well, at least it's finally started.
Yes.
After all this time.
Thank you as always. Good to see you.
Pleasure to see you. Yes, thank you very much.
Right now it's 7 minutes after. That means it's time to check weather and traffic on